Hi, everyone, and welcome to the MRF and Apex Skin. We are having a great conversation today with Dr. Jorge Garcia. I'm Kylie Lapira, CEO of the Melanoma Research Foundation, and we are so excited to chat today with Dr. Garcia. Apex is the local presenting sponsor of our Cleveland Miles for Melanoma event that we're going to have on August 3rd. And it's always a wonderful event. Over 1,000 people join us in Cleveland to walk or run to support the MRF and our vital mission to cure and put an end to melanoma. So I'm really excited to talk to Garcia today for all of you to learn a little bit more about him and Apex Skin and all the great things that they're doing there in Cleveland. So just to give you a little brief bio on Dr. Garcia, he is a board-certified dermatologist and Mohs surgeon. He's a passionate skin expert, which you will hear about in a minute, with a very unique journey. I must say, this is a very unique journey from biomedical engineering to medicine. He earned his master's degree in biomedical engineering. He commissioned with the U.S. Navy and graduated from Penn State Medical School. Very interestingly, his career took a very exciting turn when he became a U.S. Navy flight surgeon, deploying with the Marines worldwide and earning a prestigious Surgeon General's Award. He later specialized in dermatology at University Hospital's Case Medical Center right there in Cleveland, followed by advanced training in Mohs surgery and aesthetic dermatology at Harvard Medical School, just a few big institutions there. In 2008, he became the director of Mohs surgery at University Hospitals, with his laser skin treatment research published in Dermatologic Surgery Journal. So never one to stop growing and learning. He earned his MBA from Case Western University and founded Apex Skin Surgery in 2011. So quite accomplished, Dr. Garcia. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you for having me. It's really cool to be here with you. And, we're excited about this event every year. It's a highlight of our year.
That's amazing. And I will say I had the pleasure of visiting Apex when I was in Cleveland this April. And I will say what I was really impressed by was as I was entering into your beautiful facility and checking in, there on the registration desk was a stat that you and your team are clearly updating every single day. And it's the number of skin cancers that you all have diagnosed in your clinic year to date. And I was shocked. At that time in April, there were 165 skin cancers that you all had diagnosed. So you are clearly doing a lot in terms of prevention and early detection at Apex.
Yes, and that's probably only in this office in Mayfield. Yeah. We have 15 locations. So every year, I think we treat at least 8,000-9,000 skin cancers, just basal cell and squamous cells. That's without even counting melanomas. So it's good that we're talking about this because skin cancer, it's really everywhere, and early detection and just kind of awareness of this is important. And people are proactive and really take ownership of their skin and get it checked because it's important.
Absolutely. And July is actually UV Safety Awareness Month. So it's very timely that we're having this conversation because people are outside and they're, not necessarily reapplying their sunscreen as they should or protecting their skin. And I'd love to know, what are some of those recommendations that you're giving your patients right now, given that it's hot? We were just talking before we started our conversation here about how hot it is in Cleveland right now. What are you telling your patients, and what are some recommendations you're giving to them?
Yeah, like today out here, it's close to 100 degrees. The UV index is high, up to 10 maybe. We talk to the patients, and by the way, we tell them the same thing year round. And in Cleveland, we have a big winters and long winters, and we still say the same thing. Really is being proactive with sunscreen. That would be the first thing. Use SPF 30 or above. Look at the label so that make sure it has some titanium or zinc in the product, so that those are the best physical blockers. Obviously, days like today, avoid getting a sunburn. Maybe stay away from the direct sunlight from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. This was the heaviest kind of rays, but there are people that's their job, be outside, you're gardening or you're kind of a landscaper. So, covering up, with a hat or, UV protected clothing helps. Um, taking time in the shade, hydrating is important, not just, for sun, but for yourself. Taking care of your family, the little ones too, making sure they covered up. Um, again, being proactive about skin lesions, right? If you have something that's changing or something that's doesn't look quite right or something that's crusty or bleeding, then don't wait, get it checked out with dermatology and talk to your doctor and make sure you get a biopsy. It's always important to be proactive on that. And really, you got to be the person that your skin better than your dermatologist. So, if something doesn't look quite right, don't wait. Be skin smart and get it checked.
Great advice, very timely. And you always have a huge team that shows up at the event. I think
Mhm.
over 100 people from Apex, probably more this year, but a really great showing. What motivates you to get involved with an event like this? What's your passion in terms of getting involved with a local community event and the Miles for Melanoma event?
Well, we in our offices, we see the impact of melanoma firsthand. Most of us have patients with melanoma that, have struggled or patients that have died of melanoma, right? So this is really, it's almost like a natural extension to what we do when we go races like the 5K of, coming up with Melanoma Research Foundation. I think that it's uh it's basically, the fact that our job doesn't stop in the clinic when you close the door, that to me what motivates me. And we also like to be very involved in communities, and this really aligns ourselves with our purpose and our mission of transforming life through healthy skin. So the way I see it is that it's really an opportunity for us to connect with people outside the clinic, but at the same time continue that narrative about, hey, what can you do for prevention of skin cancer, and also, being up to date with the newer research, newer therapies that are coming out. And, it's a really good day to celebrate, people and connect with people. So.
It's wonderful because you come out in force and
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
great for the community to see. And you also do things year round. I know in May that you all did a free skin screening in the
Mhm.
community. So I know that, like you said, you guys are constantly giving back and again, creating lots of awareness, and we appreciate that. I'd love to know a little bit about what's your favorite part of the event. What are you looking forward
Mhm.
to this year? It's coming up pretty quick.
Yeah, I was talking about our team the other day. Really, what makes us coming back every year is the people, right? It's our patients, the survivors. So sometimes celebrating life of somebody that has passed from melanoma. We always see in the race. Really cool to see the teams kind of celebrating. It was like a celebration of life with special T-shirts that they make for the event. So I don't know. That to me is very inspiring as a dermatologist, and I feel that that kind of what continues us as a group to be continue to be sponsors and continue to be out there kind of with the fight of melanoma. I think that I don't know. It's a very special thing to be part of this, race and to in support of your foundation, because it really hits us directly as doctors that treat melanoma patients or really any skin cancer patients, because we make those special bonds with the patients. And when we have those patients that unfortunately have metastatic melanoma and then ended up not making it, then it really hits you hard. So doing these events are ways of us to kind of connect with our community. So.
Dr. Garcia, as I was reading your bio, being a veteran yourself, there's an increased rate of melanoma in servicemen and women. And, that is also a very important message to get out as well, with the rate of melanoma increasing in people who have served our country. So that's definitely, I think, another important message.
Yeah, listen, I remember being overseas and with my squadron and in the flight line. You're out there in the hot weather and we're pushing sunscreen to use. It's really hard to do that when you're, operationally, right? But we try. But you're right. There are some studies out there that, the aviation community even, have higher incidence of skin cancer, within the military, and not just skin cancer, really other cancers too. I had a buddy of mine that passed from colon cancer. He was a pilot. He died 40 some years old. So it is important to raise awareness to those veterans, service members to get checked, if we can do our part doing those things, it's important to just raise awareness. But you're right, that's a really important point. And to all the service members, veterans or active duty that are listening to this cast, make sure that you get checked at least once a year. Yeah, I always tell people on your birthday, check your birthday suit. So that's important. That's how you do. Hey, once a year, get a skin check, and that should be kind of part of your normal screening for cancer once you're past 30 or 40.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for your service, and
Thank
thank you for all Apex is doing and has done to support the Cleveland community and certainly the Melanoma Research Foundation. And we are really excited to see you next month in Cleveland with the whole Apex team there in force. And hopefully people will be getting their skin checked at the event as well. We do offer free skin screenings at the event. So if they miss their birthday, they can get it done on race day.
That's right.
So,
Yeah, you're right.
thank you again, Dr. Garcia. We appreciate everything you and your team does, and we look forward to seeing you in August.
Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity, and I hope to see everybody there this year. Hopefully this year will be bigger than last year. Every year gets better, and it's really so cool to be able to be there with you and all the other people supporting melanoma research. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.